I'm wavy, man. Most handsome man on YouTube still. And we're back. People deluded. I'm back again. I'm under the weather. Vicks like Patrick Vieira is all over my chest. I've been putting my nose for whatever reason, people. And I've got onions in my sock. Nonetheless, as you can see, I need to get some lemsic. But yeah, man, smash the like button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, in some cases, good night. This weekend, we've got another London derby as we aspire to keep our Premier League title hopes alive with us having to play Chelsea. We've had our number. We're going to need their number on Sunday. You've all seen, you know, the Champions League fixtures that have been announced, or better yet, the draw. We did do a live stream earlier where we're going to go over all of that again, but we did speak about it. So, yeah. And as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Appreciate the DG Nation. Appreciate the community we've got here. Can't do it without you. I'm the face and the handsome one of it. But it's because of you lot, man. Sup, my boy. Hey, great way to start. Big up S, man. Sup, my boy. I disagree. I need this league title more than the champs. I'm sick and tired of being called a bottle job. To be fair, though, we call that anyways if we don't rise up stuff. And I do think, yeah, like, obviously, I hope we win everything. That's the aspiration of everyone. Do I think we're going to do the quadruple? 1 second, people. I need to put this on charge. Sorry, my boy. We're going to get into this, but one thing I need is my phone to charge. Because I have a number of deliveries on me. And I want to know if they're here. Okay, it's all good. I hear it, though. I hear it because there's a lot of fans that believe that way. And it's not, there's no rights and wrongs, you know. Again, my personal thing is I want the Champions League. Bit selfish as a 30-year-old. Fair enough. As a grown adult, I've gone through life. I ain't seen us win the title as a grown man. And I understand the bottle job thing. 4 years under Arteta, we've been fighting for it. Hopefully it's fourth time lucky. We ain't got over the line. I've never seen us win the champs. As I said in all the streams, if you give me the Prem here and the champs here, I can't lie to you. I'm taking the Champions League. But I hear you because there's fans older than me, like Kenny Ken, who I big him up, who I do content with, and DJB. DJB's aligned with me in that, well, we all want everything, but he would prefer the champs. I understand the fact that there's been a lot of fight, there's been a lot of hurt. You know, what you're saying there, I definitely get it. And I think if I had to pick for the players, I would pick the Premier League. But I just want the champs, man, the big ears, man, you know, and I feel, you know, it's a bit shameless. I mean, people say a lot of things about my football club, but have you not noticed, definitely where the British media is and fans on YouTube, there's about 5-6 teams in the Champions League from England. Why is it all about Arsenal? Some teams are not, some people that don't support Arsenal are focusing on Arsenal's chances, whereas some people are not even involved. Warren, I see you in the comments. Crazy paragraph. I'm not doing that, man. What have you said? What you want and what you're going to get ain't same. Mikel ain't going to get over the line in the champs. Too many teams with elite players that can beat you when it matters. You need to cover DG. You need to cover DG. Stop you getting sick. It's Warren, you can say all of that. If you're proven right, you're proven right. If you know you're going to be wrong, there's 4 opportunities silverware. Make sure there's not a parade. I know in March there's a bit of silverware for my football club. I want the champs. I do think it's interesting though. Football matches aren't one on paper. We need to remember that. Football games are not one on paper. It doesn't matter how favorable one side versus the other. Everyone has to be taken seriously. Everything has to be taken seriously because it's that kind of time. And also, you look at the League Cup final against City. City have Real Madrid in the midweek, and then obviously the Cup final. We have obviously Bayern Leverkusen and them. So we are kind of getting into that. And also, I'll go over it because I'm sure tab police look away. I've got some tabs, yeah. As much as we're looking at it favorable on that side, and then I think the left-hand side, whatever it looks like, the left-hand side, the last X amount of years, they've won the Champions League. On the right side, it ain't happened on that side. But we'll get into that. There's no rights and wrongs, man, though.
Would enjoy the journey of us bottling the league at the expense of winning the UCL after the league is done. It's too risky. It's a detrimental effect, man. But bro, even you could flip it and say, cool, we get the League Cup under us. We win the Premier League. Psychologically, you can't be in dream mode and all of that. You need to get to the champs. And then even that, say you got to the Champions League final and you won the Premier League. Obviously, the Champions League game would be lost. It would end on a downer, but you'd have to pick yourself up. All I'm saying is, a lot of us Arsenal fans just wanted one bit of silverware. There's 4 trophies on the line. You're still, however positive, negative you feel about Arteta, the players, this, that, and the other, we have a bloody good chance, man. So I hear you. Cold to not be covered another in this country when you're out and about. Too many tops off don't help. We're more likely to get sick in this country. Yeah, and I'm not going to read the rest, but you're right. But the thing is, I don't know, man. You don't think, I know there's banter, but you don't think, to be honest, 9 times out of 10, I don't have a top on when I'm just chilling, doing content. But I ain't leaving my house like that. I think it's a case of we've had crap weather. It's been raining. Literally 2 days of sunniness, and now we're back. And it's a bit weird being ill for me because yesterday I was fine, I literally woke up, coughing, and it just feels like there's mucus there, man. I saw Arsenal win the league in 89. Steven, man, I'm jealous, man. I'd love to listen. All I can hear from you is war stories, innit? And watch the DVDs. I'm only 30, I weren't there, but that's the foundations, innit? Like, early 2000s. I remember in primary school being called a glory hunter for supporting my football club. And, we all know the time now. And hopefully we get back to that, man. We need to start getting these little kids from all over the world just gravitating to Arsenal, not being born into this because obviously your family and that. I think the weirdest thing is Manchester City fans, not the fans that grew up in Manny or they've got a kind of reason. That there's fans from all over the world. There's a lot in London, glory hunters. But yeah, man. Bodo Glint in the quarters is a worrying game where you consider they've already beaten Man City this season. Bro, you have to take everyone seriously. Bodo Glint, fearless. They've got nothing to lose. If you go and dump Bodo Glint out of the Champions League, not neutral's favourite, but everybody loves an underdog. It is what it is. They go and beat you, it's plastered. They play great football. They've all got, they play great football. They're great coach-wise. They've gone to some difficult grounds, and not even just this year, but last couple of years, acquit themselves. They've earned the right to be here. Of course, if we're going to do the names thing, you're going to look in I'd want Sporting and Bodo Glint, and you want to avoid this and that. The only team I'm genuinely scared of, regardless of how it goes down, and I wouldn't even say shook, is just Bayern Munich. I think they're really clicking into gear. We've shown we can beat Real Madrid. Take them seriously, it's Real Madrid. Barcelona, I think there's chinks in the armor. And I think European teams will be shook of us. And this, we all know on this channel, we're not doing like we're talking seriously. Like, teams will be scared of us. It's not me saying we don't have a chance or we're big bad Arsenal in town. We get more plaudits from journalists, coaches, former managers, anything to do with how we're looked at in Europe away from this country. So yeah, FA Cup is your best. Hope you don't bottle it. Warren, you support Man United. What have you won this year? What are you eligible to win? Because I remember Arsenal fans, we were bantered about top 4 as a trophy. Ain't that your bit of silverware? You man are excited because you've had 5 games, 4 wins and a draw. Come on, man. Because I know listen, clip this. This is what's going to happen. Big up Michael Carrick, but war is war. He's going to get you top 4. He's going to get you playing great football. You lot are going to do that. Oh, my days, we could have been in the title race or done X, Y, Z if we got rid of Amarin. You're going to buy, you're Man United. You'll attract players. You got Champions League. You're going to bring in players. You're going to be all giddy. You're going to be doing combined 11s and you're going to be waffling about Ahmad, who's got less goals than Hincapié and this one and that one. And you see next season, the wheels are going to fall off again. And then you're going to be like Carrick out. Because even if you're honest with yourselves as Man United fans, it is a results-driven business. But one thing that pisses me off about Manchester United content creators and just people, you lot are very lazy in your analysis of Arsenal, but there's, you can't win it, you lot, and then you're very sympathetic to your club, and then you want to talk about fine margins and niches and that. Quote me on that, man. You can't underestimate Bayern Leverkusen at all, bro. They need to be on their A game that day. Rice crucial to be in good form. You have to turn up over 2 legs. There's a lot of games and a lot of, not really, but there's a lot of football to be played, quote unquote, until then. There's better things. You don't know. They might turn up. You might not. There might be referee spanners in the works. There could be injuries, loss of form. Obviously, these footballers are human beings, and I extend that to Arteta. You don't know what they're going on in their personal life. You need to earn the right to win these games. You need to earn the right to get to the finals. Now, boys, bring the domestic things home. You've shown me good nights. Obviously, I don't mean it means nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, in the league phase, you've shown me you can be, across the last 2 years, you've beaten PSG, you've beaten Bayern Munich, you've beaten Inter Milan, you've done very well against Real Madrid, I remember Bayern Munich in Arteta's first season managing us in Europe. We lost, but we never got embarrassed. PSG, we never got embarrassed. But so that shows you can compete. Now, away from the banter, one thing I do agree with Warren is, on one hand, yeah, anyone can win a game of football. You know, you can get a bit of luck and all of that. One thing I do agree with Warren is sometimes, like when you get to this end of the season, well, this end of the tournament, I do think it's not necessarily about being the best team over 90 minutes or 2 legs. Like, you do need those players with stardust. Real Madrid do it. How many times have we seen Real Madrid en route to winning a Champions League? Yeah, and they've actually, like, from the quarters to the semi, well, from the last 16 to the quarters to the semis, across a 90-minute game, yeah, they might not be the best. Their tactics might not be the best. The players might not be the best, but they've got one opportunity. Look around. I'm exaggerating and he weren't there, but Mbappe's scored a screamer. Valverde's done something. You know, Courtois pulled off 2 worldies of saves. You know, Rudiger's made a mad tackle. These are the kind of things. Now, we're amateurs in that. We're still wet between the ears, but we've seen certain intangibles. And then go out there and enjoy it. As I always say, the champs is the one I want, but the champs, for me, you play it by ear. Cool, you did what you did in the league phase. Last 2 years where it's been league phase, done your business. We've gone to a quarters, we've gone to a semis. By that logic, anything less than a final is failure, but you've got to go out there and do it, man. Rivals, but anything can happen. Anything but an Arsenal win, I guess. Disingenuous, man. If we win the champs, Rice and Saka Ballon d'Or, we need that. Teams respect us. They cannot not do so. PSG was 5 margins, missed chances in the first leg, and had a goal disallowed. Second leg, we couldn't convert early. Make sure that's not the case, man. Hey, Warren just wants to rattle you lot. You lot ignore him, man. Ignore him. We're focusing on. Would it be all right? Cool. We're only responding to the following teams and fans. Yeah. Does your team have a chance of winning the Premier League? Raise your hand. Does your team have a chance of is your team still in the Champions League? Raise your hand. Is your team in a cup final in the league cup and still in it? Well, you have to be in it. Raise your hand. Are you still in the FA Cup? Raise your hand. Have you won 5 games in a row this season? Please raise your hand. Are you a shoo-in for top 4, which is all certain people can do? Raise your hand. Has your defenders got more goals than the Wakanda Messi? Raise your hand. Joshua Zirkzee, this, that, and the man, like, bro, this is who. We're not wasting our Fridays with that. Warren's a good sport because he's always here and he's got his 5 minutes of fame. You know, people from Birmingham, there's something wrong with them, so let's ignore them. I think we actually will see Company versus Pep fight. Unpopular opinion, if Arteta left tomorrow, I want Luis Enrique, and I weren't on the Company hype initially, and don't get it twisted. I do think he's a good coach and stuff, but I'm proper buying into it. If I had to say, I don't fear anyone in Europe. If we win, great. If we lose, I'm not saying we're the biggest and baddest. I don't think there's fear. I do think we'll compete. I do think there might be an element of us shooting ourselves in the foot. I do look at my attackers in the Premier League, and you don't know, beyond the obvious, I was happy about the North London derby because first time in a while, every one of those attacking players, you know, even Noni for his build-up help for Gyökeres to get the second goal, you know, Noni, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, you know, Odegaard off the bench. Some did better than others, Nelly as well. That was the first game I was happy about. And you lot know our defense has carried us. Midfield, Zubamendi's gone a bit off the boil. Rice, I don't feel is really shelling out as much, but our midfield has kind of been doing it. Our attackers haven't really been pulling their weight. So this is where I'm saying in the league, you need that purple patches that we're seeing now. That needs to be in the champs because there is a degree of man just need to turn up, collapse the games and let's go. And also, if you've got City on the weekend, Tuesday, Wednesday must win is crazy. I don't think Company can tactically defeat Pep. I think they can all defeat each other, bro. If Arteta can beat Carlo, Luis Enrique, these kind of guys, and don't get twisted, losing a game doesn't mean you've lost the tactical battle. We all know it does, but like we're having a serious conversation. I think he can. I think in this present day and age, everyone can beat everybody, really. Everyone can do things. We see it in the Premier League 9 times out of 10 now. Obviously, the Champions League is extremely different because there's many other factors that can to care about, but I don't see why he couldn't win that tactical battle, especially with this kind of City side with evident weaknesses, people. But yeah, man, let's crack on a bit. First thing I wanted to speak about is, well, no, it's not the first thing. Part that off, people. That was not the first thing. I tabbed police. I wasn't getting them patterned up. You know, this Spurs fan did make me laugh, people. He said they lost 4-0 to Arsenal. We only lost 4-1, so easy win for us. That's obviously Spurs against Atletico Madrid. Now, we smoked both of them. Big up Atletico Madrid. Fuck them fried chickens. So, yeah, we did what was required. But I just felt that was funny, people. Now, if you've been living under a rock, On the left-hand side, I see some of you say stuff like green and blue. I don't know which side is which in it. On my screen, the left-hand side is PSG. The right-hand side is Newcastle. Like them two are the top teams in it. So on the left-hand side, you've got PSG, Chelsea, Gala, Liverpool, Real Madrid, City. Big up Karma in the chat as well. Forgot to say that. Atalanta and Bayern Munich. On the right-hand side, Newcastle versus Barcelona, which I'm sure was a game they played in the league phase, just like Galatasaray and Liverpool. You've got Atletico Madrid versus Spurs. That's the only kind of saving grace from Spurs this season, is that somehow they're in this stage. Bodo, Glint, and Sporting. I'm happy for both sides, because if you're Sporting, you're thinking, yeah, we could take them. If you're Bodo, you're thinking we could take them. Don't get twisted. Bodo have shown that they're on crud. They could stress out a lot of teams. I think you're very naive if Arsenal drew Bodo and think it's a shoe-in. You're being for a shock surprise. And saving the best till last, Bayern Leverkusen Arsenal, in which I'm sure you're seeing Bayern Leverkusen's social media team. They're saying the last time they beat Arsenal, they won the Champions League. Which, obviously, we're focused on Arsenal, but which one do you lot think is the game to watch? Because from a tactical point of view, I'm drawn to Atalanta, Bayern Munich. Hopefully, Atalanta get them out. We all knew Real Madrid were going to get Manchester City. It just seems like that is something that is done in that regard. You've got PSG against Chelsea. You've got Gala, Liverpool. That's going to be a decent game. I reckon Liverpool smoked them personally. But I think it's a thing where if the first leg is at Anfield, they're winning 4-5-0. They might lose 1-0 on the night at Gala. Newcastle Barca is going to be a decent game. Hasn't been too many highs from a Newcastle perspective. They're going to be rocking. And to be honest with you, you know, it's as cliche as it is. PSG obviously got good atmosphere, but Newcastle at their place, Liverpool at their place, Real Madrid at their place are the ones you're looking at. So it'd be very interesting, man. Agreed, Atalanta Bayern. From a tactical point of view, it will be great. But not like engagement and entertainment. I don't think it would be that. I mean, if Atalanta, you got to be careful, because it would. I don't think, for example, I don't think we're losing to Leverkusen. If I had to bet money, I actually think Bodo Glint are beating Sporting, even though I'm being a hypocrite. Sporting probably on paper, if you're doing the big club thing, would be the favourites, innit? I don't think Newcastle are getting anything out of Barcelona. I personally think Atletico are smoking Spurs. I can't imagine Galatasaray beating Liverpool. Slightly, I can't imagine Chelsea beating PSG. But whenever Chelsea are rugby in the league, they end up winning this. There is going to be upsets. There is going to be many an upset, man. Yeah, entertainment, I think it might be Chelsea, PSG, or Liverpool. Gala, and you know what? You know the thing about social media, yeah? Once you say something, they never forget. Everyone's bringing up Sanchez of Chelsea's quotes from September or whenever, when he's saying he wants PSG and whatnot. I can see top Spurs beating Athletic. I think it comes down, you keep hearing me say it, I think it comes down to like, for Gala, it's can you come out of the Liverpool game and take it to your ground and make it rocking? I think the away leg, or Chelsea away leg against PSG, sums it up. I think how Newcastle behave at the Nou Camp sums that up. I think for Spurs, it's the performance in Spain, really and truly, that sums it up. Champions League is a distraction for Spurs. They need to stay up. Imagine they won the champs and got relegated. I don't want to imagine it, because fuck them winning it, but you get the point. And you know what? Imagine that. They won the Europa and the champs back to back, and they're in the championship. I wonder if the players will stay or cut. So yeah, man. What else are you lot saying? City, Real Madrid, PSG, Chelsea. Also, Lookman to Athletic for 30 million really upset me. I rate him much higher than Noni for cheaper. Listen, Noni is cool, but I think we should have got that Ryan brother that's now obviously doing his thing at Bournemouth. And there's plenty of others. So yeah, man. I mean, he did score against Bayern. I think Arsenal can beat Barca. I fancy us against their high line, but like over 2 legs, we do have this ability of shooting ourselves in the foot. And I extend that to the manager as well. Like, are you going to keep the tactics the same when the game is showing that you might change? Should you change when the game is showing you that? You get where I'm going? I do think, yeah, ability and pedigree and experience and all of these kind of things make a part, but I do think there's a lot more psychological factors when you get into this stage of the Champions League, because right now it's the last 16, then obviously it's the quarters, then it's the semis, and then it's obviously the final. And to be honest, if you're Barcelona, you should always be aspiring to win the champs. And like Arsenal last year, and I extend that to Arsenal last year with our year-on-year progress, should be bummed that you're not in that final. PSG, you got a target on your head. You man are the winners. And it looks like there's a bit of trouble in paradise at PSG. You want to show what you're on. Liverpool, not quite to the extent of Spurs, but you can't retain the Premier League. What you can do to save some face is add in another Champions League. What have Liverpool got? 5, 6? Real Madrid is easy, or Real Madrid. City under Pep, you always want to be there. Bayern Munich, you know what? Yeah, I'm being a bit lazy, but like every year, you're gonna, regardless of context and whatnot, like if you're looking at stuff like the big boys, you're gonna say Real Madrid, you're gonna say Bayern, you're gonna say Barca. Out of all of them, like guys that you would say were gonna win the Champions League if you had to bet in August, Bayern slightly have underperformed in my life, or especially as I've gone from my teenage life to like my adult life being 30, they've slightly underperformed. Like you lost in your backyard to Chelsea. You won the treble under, is it Jupp Heynckes or whatever? But you played Dortmund. Dortmund earned it, but you were a class above. Fun fact, I was at that was Dortmund versus Bayern. I was at that all-German final at Wembley. Robin's mad. That was a great game to watch, man. And the atmosphere as well. That's my point. Bayern can win on sheer individual brilliance, but I don't see company being tactically better than Pep. I don't think he has it. Fair. We're going to have to see, man. I get where you're going, because I'll kind of regurgitate the same point. If we get Barca in the semis, Martinelli needs to take advantage of that high line in the first leg. I think that's what is important from Arteta for the champs. That applies to the league. It smashed the first leg in the next 2 rounds, so we have the advantage in rotating a bit. And it's a marathon, because again, for Liverpool, you and Chelsea, really, you obviously want to win these games, but you're in a top 4 race right now, and Liverpool are the slight outsiders. Newcastle is a bit different. Barca, Athletic, whatever you're trying to do in your league, you're trying to do. Spurs have to balance survival with obviously giving a good account of themselves. We're obviously competing on multiple fronts. Technically, City are as well. In fact, they are like the only 2 teams in England. I don't think either team is going to, but both teams are still in all comps. So it's how you navigate that. But for the players, this is where, when they say football's a results business, this is what I'm looking at now. I'll always sit here and, if we win over 2 legs, but I feel there was question marks, I'll speak about that. But control your nerves, bounce back from setbacks, psychologically get yourselves and get over the line. And also for the gaffer, this is now where you have to earn your money. This is where now, if you got 3 games in 10 days, where I know we always say everything's a must win, but it really is. And imagine we win the champs being unbeaten. I'll take a losing against Leverkusen, going through and winning the champs, just if you don't want us to have that. But yeah, if Pep has to go pedal to the medal for both legs, we only have to go for 1 leg, can be a huge advantage for the league performance. Fair enough, man. I don't think it's nailed on for us to reach the final, but I do think it'd be a failure for us not to, when you consider that we get easier side of the draw. We got to a semis last year, so semis or the final, for me, I always want to win it. Like, this is the one I want, really and truly. Smash the like button if you haven't. There's quite a difference in the Champions League successes between the 2 sides of the draw. When you look on the left-hand side, Champions League winners, left half, Atalanta haven't done it. Bayern have done it 6 times. Chelsea have done it twice. Gala have done it none. Liverpool have done it 6 times. City have won. PSG have won. Real Madrid have 15. Mad, didn't it, with Real Madrid? And then obviously, you look on the right-hand side, hey boy, we're combined total of 5, but really, like, we're all, Barcelona's giving us a jacket to wear, really. Arsenal, none. Atletico Madrid, none. Leverkusen, none. Bodo Glimt, none. Newcastle, none. Sporting, none. Tottenham, none. Barcelona, 5. So there's only one. Again, for all of the fact that Barca have 5 and Real Madrid have 15 and Liverpool have 6 and Bayern got 6 and Chelsea got 2, at some point, you had to win it for the first time, innit? Like, you had to do it for the PSG last season. You had to do it for the first time. Manchester City had to do it for the first time. So there is that. But do you not read anything into it? We all know pedigree, been through here before, like, but just in terms of like the footballing gods, do you not think there's anything in this? That on one hand, there's 5, there's been 5 on one hand and 31 on the other, and all 5 have been claimed by Barca. I'm calling it 4, and I'm giving Arsenal 1. We all remember 06, but it's cool. Arsenal cannot, though, play any of Manchester City, Real Madrid, Liverpool, PSG, or Bayern until the final, and that don't mean nothing, because you got to turn up on the day, innit? And obviously, you saw Bayern Leverkusen say, last time we played Arsenal in the Champions League, we got to the Champions League final. And you can see it here, people. So we're going to have to be on them. It's Invincibles against Invincibles. It's the Hincapié derby. He's not here anymore, but it's the Granit Xhaka derby. Who else has played for Arsenal and Bayern Leverkusen? Hincapié, Granit Xhaka. There's another one. Oh, good little trivia. We should have done a Kahoot. If you know, players who have played for both Arsenal and Bayern Leverkusen. How you spell it? Leno, fuck's sake. I knew there was I said German. Kai Havertz, fuck's sake. Big up to everyone who got them in it. Big up to everyone who got them in it. Kai Havertz, Hincapié, Granit Xhaka, Leno, Rudy Grant. I wouldn't have got that still. There was no way I was getting that. Big up though, but I wasn't getting that. So yeah. And obviously, as much as we're talking about the champs, keep your thoughts coming, people. We got to remember, we do need to win on Sunday. We've had Chelsea's number. When was the last time they beat us? This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last 9 games, we've had their number, man. We've always left with something. When you look at it, though, people, it's been confirmed. Wait, what? 5:45 kickoff. What's all this woke nonsense about? 5:45 kickoff in the last 16 of the champs. But nonetheless, it's been confirmed in our round of 16. Our first leg will be away in Bayern Leverkusen. That'll be in a couple of weeks on Wednesday, the 11th of March, 5:45 kickoff. The second leg will be played at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, March the 17th, obviously at the Emirates. Do you not feel playing away in the first leg versus the second leg being at home? Is there any advantages that, or are those things just cliches we say in football, but really it don't mean much, man? Bookies will favour Athletic, but Spurs have a better chance than what the bookies show. Got 50% chance. That's the beautiful thing about football. 2021-22 at home was the last time. Bloody hell. No, since away goals has gone. Away goals was the stupidest thing ever, man. Fair play to Kai. He turned up for Chelsea to win it for them, but he's not the player he was at Chelsea. If anything, he's better than he was at Chelsea. Obviously, he's won the champs. He's a better player. He's held in high regards. Chelsea fans should slag him off. If the Champions League accomplished teams would have won their matches in the league phase like they should, the imbalance for the left and the right of the bracket wouldn't be there. Good point. Because everyone's saying, oh, it's rigged for Arsenal. When have you, blood clots, seen a Champions League phase game or anything rigged for us? When have you seen that? When have you seen that? You ain't seen Arsenal have any rigged league games, league phase games. You ain't seen group stage. You ain't seen it rigged in the FA Cup, in the League Cup. Less of that. Less of that. I don't want to hear none of it. And it's a good point. You can't tell me it's rigged. Half the pagans crying, your team should have won. It's not my fault that while we ain't won it, the last 2 years, my gaffer and my boys win all the games. We can kind of chill off a bit. So yeah, people. Also, there's been a shuffling where the Premier League is concerned for Arsenal's game against Everton. The Premier League has confirmed Everton's match against Arsenal at the Emirates will now take place on Saturday, the 14th of March with kickoff at 5:30. So that's been brought forward, right? Remember, that's been brought forward because obviously we're going to be playing the same week against Leverkusen. I'm sure after this, it's the big one, isn't it? Well, you got the return leg, and then you've obviously got, so the week after that point, we would have played Everton. I'm sure you got the cup final, innit? You would. You'd have the cup final, obviously against Man City. So yeah, our game was scheduled for the 15th of March. It's been brought forward. The boys know that. The players know that. Fans know that things are going to be moved in it. So yeah, I don't care about City's run of fixtures because we have a brutal run of fixtures. But they play Real Madrid, then Crystal Palace, then they've got us in the League Cup final, then they go to Chelsea, and then they've got Arsenal in the league. Crazy, isn't it? But this is the realms you want to be in if you want to win stuff, people. Mikel Arteta told Charles Watts on if he would play Eze on the left to bring in Odegaard. There's possibility to do that for sure. I think we only did it once, and it was for a short period of time because Martin had a shoulder injury. As well, obviously, because we had players out now in midfield, so we lost. Martin was out, Mikel was out, Kai was out as well. Wanyeri was sent on loan, so we had lost options. That's the reason as well that he's been playing more regularly now. Arteta on the partnership between Hincapié and Eze down the left. It's a combination that we can do. When we talk about connection, that's a connection that I think will work really well, especially against a certain type of opponent. So that's another option we have. What do you lot make of that? All the new rules suit our play style. We are a different attacking team. It's an advantage for sure, but it's marginal. Chasing after someone is definitely easier to do at home than vice versa. This Champions League pass is a myth, though. It matters if recent players won it. What about Benfica? Hardly ever compete. Same with Ajax. I do think there's a bit in it, but I do lean towards you in that. At the end of the day, you got to go out and win the game, innit? It might help psychologically because we're a team that wins. You know, we've won, or I signed for this team. Them man have won trophies. They're telling me about it. But then you can flip it. And I know we ain't won it, but we've been in numerous hostile environments. We've learned from disappointment of PSG disappointment against Bayern Munich, jubilation against Real Madrid, just competing in the last 3-4 years against this team and that company and Inter and this and that. Even Inter, like, you don't know, that was one of the toughest results for me to take last season because you know me, I'm never one to cry about refs and I always think about other stuff. We got zanged to draw. So to go there with a year's experience and play the way we did, even when we conceded, you get where I'm going, innit? Advantage of being ranked first. No aways goal existed. BRX, there was no back pass rules, and teams would go one up and then play the leg pass back to keepers. Away goals was to prevent a boring dead game. I hear it, but like for years I've caveated that away goals rule. Like it came in before my time. It's dead. Essentially, 1 goal counts for 2. It needed to go time ago. I know that 29 would love to win the champs with us. He hates Chelsea. I think he just wants to win it full stop, man. Like, you look back at Chelsea with pride. You won a trophy, then you scored the winner. So yeah, 5:45 is for TV, so they can show more games at 8. It's all about money. Yeah, when you put it like that, but I mean, taking a piss a bit, ain't it? Main thing is to keep the squad fit for all games. Hey, big up, Unks, American Gunner. Appreciate you, my boy. How you feeling about the champs? My man said, I think I finally start to speak Arteta. That means they're not considering there's in the left unless they're injuries. 100%. 100%. Arteta. But what's he said about Kai Havertz, Dalman, and Jokerit? Huh? We need to read this immediately. Not so far. We're waiting for tomorrow, the last training session, to understand if we have 1 or 2 available from last week. And there's always spanners in the works. I know we won the North London derby, but we've become accustomed to somebody just randomly missing out. Like Ben White weren't involved. We are hopeful Max Dalman will play some minutes tonight with the 21s. Obviously, they're playing away at Ipswich. I actually think that's kicked off now. It's being streamed on Arsenal.com. We need to get back into doing youth content. I am still aware. I am still praying. You know this. I mean, you do see me tweet about it. Kai will train tomorrow and we'll see if he's fit to face Chelsea. We can't have setbacks, man, because this is, you know what I do? The Marinos, the Kai Havertzes, the Gabriel Jesuses, you know them players at all clubs. I'm sure every club in the knockout stages or in England, there's players that divide opinion. It's them kind of, we're in that point of the season, it's them kind of man, them bit part players, them players that have divided opinion, been inconsistent. It's them man that score you the goals that go from the last 16 to the next one, or them nervy games in the Prem. We're playing shit. We know we need 3 points. We've got the word on the radio. City have taken the lead. They've gone above us. We're playing rubbish. It's, you know, it's 1-0 in the 80th minute. That Bandulu player like Jesus has found 2 goals. We've got out of there winning 2-1. This is now where we're getting into. Victor has found the net 8 times in his last 12 games, including 2 in our rampant win at Spurs last time out. I am in the process of editing a video about Jokerit. I've gone through bare of the times I've been on TalkSport. Yeah, we keep receipts. And all the other content, you know, there's playlists in it. I think it's technically in my tactical analysis playlist on the channel. So, yeah, there you go. When you score the first one, the performance is good. You have more time with your teammates. You understand the games, the opponents, the league, everything helps. We know his qualities. He's undoubtedly an incredible striker. We need to feed his quality. We need to understand him better. He needs to understand the team, the league better. And I think we're on the right trajectory. Anyone disagreeing? Don't think you are. Let's see every word he said. We have gone over that. So once again, there's going to be a training session. He's clearly played a bit coy on if Kai Havertz and Benjamin White's going to be there. He specifically said Max Dalman's going to play for the 21s, which is tonight. Obviously, we need to hear from the gaffer on what he said about Leverkusen. Well, we're very excited to play the next round. We have earned the right to be in a strong position. What we've done in the group stage, and that's it. Now we need to start to analyze them, find ways to be better than them to try and go through the tie. Then, obviously, on the mood following our win against Spurs compared to Wolves. Not too high, not too low. I try to be as stable as possible. I try to have perspective always about a result or a performance, brings outside or within the group. And I always try to speak positive about it. Sounds like me. On staying grounded, it's something that I need. I mean, you're like this every single day. I'm happy and sad. You cannot be like this. You cannot be your best with that. Obviously, you have to be very critical of yourself, very analytical of what we do, and try to be always as good as we possibly can. We've gone over that Jokerit thing. On self-doubt, let's not be dumb. Jokerit obviously had the elements of self-doubt, but you've come through it at this moment in time. I don't know. That's a question for him. Obviously, I know the demands that he's put on himself, the expectation he has to help the team. I'm confident because I ask our defenders a lot of times when they have to train against other players, how do you feel about that? That's a really good way to understand the quality of a player or how it is to defend. On if there's a psychological advantage over Chelsea, yes, but I don't think it means anything. This is their cup final, bit like the Spuds. No, I think what it is, it's about preparation, and preparation gives you confidence and the right emotional state to get to the game with the belief and conviction that you're going to win it. And after that, pardon me, you have to earn the right to win it. On if March will define our season. I don't think March will define it, but it'll be very important with what's going to happen in April and May, that's for sure. There are competitions in the knockout stages. You are in or you are out. I think we scored more goals in the season 23-24 than in the history of Arsenal Football Club. So you can put any name or objective that you want. Fair enough. I mean, and listen, who cares if we're exciting or not? You've got a good opportunity to bring home some bacon, turkey bacon. Go and do that, innit? It's as simple as that. It's genuinely as simple as that. Something a Spurs pundit would say. I think it's a punditry argument. He scored the Champions League goal for Chelsea. That means he's been big up yourself, America. He's not happy with Warren. Only 6 champions in the competition. The name needs to be changed absolute fast. Well, I don't get why we don't have youth games free for watch-alongs and free to watch. I doubt it makes any money. Eyes would be worth more. To be fair, Arsenal.com have aggressively been streaming it. It's on now. Our side hardly has any exciting games outside of potentially Barcelona and Atletico and the semis. All the big names are on the other side. Boy, need my 3 points this weekend. Facts. Nothing less. We have to intertotal, though. That's all that matters. Foxy, big up my favorite Newcastle fan. This guy's an idiot sometimes, man. On Chelsea's approach, we don't know. I mean, they've done different things and they can change throughout the game. They have the players, they have the manager. He's very comfortable doing that. So we're prepared. We're going to be prepared for the possible scenarios that we can face throughout the game and try to do better than that. On the finishes second the last 3 years is a motivation. When you play like this, you only want to be first. That's it. So imagine how the rest of the teams are. That's the aim. Always get better. Always try to excel the possibilities of the team, whether that be individually or collectively. That's what we're trying to do. Get the last stage of the competitions in April, May, and see what we're able to do. On if the team ever shows signs of nerves, probably, but he's not going to come and say that to us. I want to see signs of confidence, enthusiasm, and a lot of will to win. I want to see what is in front of us, and that's what I see every single day from the team. On if he has confidence against Chelsea, we know Arteta is going to say that, and he's right. As much as we do the bragging rights, the most important thing is what's in front of you. It's irrelevant, the run, what they're doing, earn the right to win. On Gyökeres' stats this season, I want the stats to show that we're a better team and have achieved what we want. He can be a huge contributor to our success, scoring goals and doing many things that he can do really well throughout the games. On how he's understanding Eze better. You see how players react in relation to certain decisions that you take when you have better games, when you have certain difficulties throughout the games. His role has been modified a few times throughout the season, and his reaction has always been top. It's been top after 2 performances. That's what we need because he's been exceptional in the manner that he's behaving every single day. What we want is that those manners are now transformed into huge performances that decide who matches us. That's the reason why we're growing. So is that saying he's comfortable now? But Eze, it's time now. You believe in yourself. And this is what I need. Gyökeres, you looked shell-shocked a bit, but you had confidence in your initial stage. I do think you was down in your confidence. I'm seeing a different Gyökeres. Not different in terms of what I'm seeing with my eyes and obviously goals, but people forget psychologically, the psychological factors in football play a big part. Look at Man United. Half of them players, a lot of their fans wanted gone. And I'm not saying all of them are playing. They look different under Carrick. People don't, because obviously we can't really see it. And I do think football fans are not stupid, but they forget footballers are human beings. I might be able to shout at Eze and he goes into a shell. I might be able to slag off Gyökeres and he's even on it more. There might be certain players I might have to slag off in front of the group to set levels, but I might be able to pull you to the side and have to explain that. Others know I've got your best interest at heart in it. So there's a lot of things to understand. On if he understands Eze emotionally, yes, it's important and tactically as well to understand him. You have to understand how he connects with our players. One of the best connections that we can build in and around him in this space is that he's more comfortable to use the assets and behaviors that he's changed dramatically into really positive things. What does that mean? In the end, you don't know if you're going to see them in a week, 2 weeks, or a month, but they're coming. On Hincapié, it's your spot to lose, man. Calafiori is one of our better players this season, but Hincapié, you're doing your thing. I fully agree again. A bit more time with the team, a sequence of games where probably physically he's in a much better place. Got to remember, he had some niggling injuries and he actually signed for us off the back of a groin surgery, innit? He's been extremely dominant in all defensive actions. He understands, he's a warrior, man. He understands what we want in the attacking part as well, much better. All the set pieces, all the aspects that are relative to the game model that we have. He's very much liked amongst the players. You can see that the way they interact and react with him. I'm very pleased that he's showing up. bro, the deal's going to be permanent, in it. On the potential Champions League route, we are really excited being on 4 fronts, and that way the team is consistently performing, gives us a lot of hope and positive thoughts about what is coming. But we can only focus on the present. That's where we're going to put our energy, and that's on Sunday. On how hard it is to win the quadruple, has it been done? That's how difficult it is. Let's go game by game. Let's try to continue to be there until the last stage of every competition, and then we'll see what happens. And to be fair, what else could you say? No, Wolves versus Villa. Has it started? Has it started? Has it started? My FPL, for fuck's sake. Dropping shit as well. Sorry. Oh, my days. No. Social, man. You flipped my mood, you know. I was in quite a good mood. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I'll give up on this FPL thing, man. Don't want to play anyways. Fuck's sake. Why? No one's watching that as well. We gotta get in it. There's football, bro. Sheg. So it's done. You know what? It's done, in it. Like, forget FPL. I don't want to talk about FPL, but yeah. Again, they're trying to press him on the quadruple. What is there to understand that? Who wouldn't want to win everything that they're participating in? That goes for every team, but it's very difficult. As long as you've got it, you've got a chance. It's probably unlikely to happen. We keep fighting, in it. I don't want to sacrifice the FA Cup, but considering we're in the League Cup final, get the Prem over the line. I hope we can do the champs. If the FA Cup, and that's our trophy, it's our baby, man. United have won it 13. We've got 14. I do think that's one reason, but on the obvious, I've been pissed off with since we've won the FA Cup, because United have been shit. We could make a bit of a gap there. Man United fans, don't get excited. Remember the last time you played us in the final? Please, Tranquillo. But anyways, we have gone over the Eze Odegaard thing. On a partnership between Hincapie and Eze, we have gone on that. On Saka and Rice's praise of him, well, I've always said that the difficulty of being so long at a football club is probably in that relationship, that belief that you need to have from the players, because at the end, when you look at them and you're talking or you're proposing to do something, you need to inspire them. They need to be on board immediately. I'm very pleased that the boys are feeling that way, that they want to continue to work with us, and with all the coaches and stuff, that means they enjoy what they do. Facts. Again, Everton's game has been rescheduled. Our game, better yet, against Everton has been rescheduled. Has Liam Rosen not said anything? I don't care how he feels about the PSG. I'm not even going to waste time on that. Fofana shouldn't be being racially abused, whether it's fellow players like we've seen with Vinicius, whether it's social media dickheads. It's not going anywhere, in it. Football don't care about racism. Social media platforms don't. Why? It's not profitable, and it's not a problem that those fat cats typically are victims of. So we're at where we're at. So we're not going to talk about that. Chelsea have made a massive financial loss. Doesn't make sense for Liam Rosen to speak about that. On criticism of his tactics in the second leg against Arsenal, he was kind of, to be fair, it was kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, in it, really. And to be fair, last couple of games we played against them, I can see why Liam Rosen does the tactics he does. I'll always have confidence against Chelsea as long as they've got them defenders that they're picking, in it. When they get serious defenders, I actually feel things can click into gear sooner rather than later. For large spells of the game, you're always disappointed to lose in the semi-final. But I think there were availability issues. Oh, injuries play a part. I don't want to hear that from nobody that's not connected to my club, because we were told shut up, just like with referees. It's almost like they call us deluded, but it's almost like us Arsenal fans are ahead of the curve in certain things. But anyways, let's move. For the first leg, I was here for 4 days. We need to look at the right context. Get your own flow, man. Arteta was the context done with the ball. Maybe we could have been more front-footed, try and get a result. Come out and play against us. As I told Abby on TalkSport against Spurs, come out and play against us. Tottenham got put in a pack. Chelsea is pending, man. Don't worry. The oven is warm. Soon put the chicken in there, or whatever the hell Chelsea is. What is Chelsea's badge? It's a lion, isn't it? More like a puppy. Interestingly, he did work at Brighton and he did work with Gyökeres. He said, I worked with Victor at Brighton's under-23s. Victor has started to build his confidence and has shown he can score goals. Eze have come up against many times. We know it's going to be a very difficult game, but they know it's going to be a difficult game for them as well, 100%. I don't care about the supercomputer. I don't care what they've got to say there. I don't care about their left-wing options. Relying on his players. Every manager will say you're making consistent assessments as you go. I'm learning about my group, their strengths, and what they need to improve. There are going to be big moments when we're going to be under pressure, and I need to know the players that can stay calm and consistent in those pressure moments. Any chance we see Cole Palmer finally play against us? Keon, what has he said about us in the Champions League? Arsenal are becoming quite formidable now in Europe. One of the big heavyweights. We need big heavyweight stuff. They were out of the competition for 6 years or so, 3 years back in now. Quarterfinal, semis for the last 2 seasons. Hopefully this season you can go that one step further, but you can't look beyond Leverkusen in the next round. You see Inter Milan go out in the manner they did against Bodo Glimt. Arsenal be confident. They're in really good form right now, but they won't be complacent. We can't be complacent. What else, as he said? I think it'll be a tough game. We've seen them do very well against the other English sides in the Champions League. Some good wins away from home. They won't be taken lightly. Arsenal will really go after them. I think this year, having the second leg at home, I think that's going to be strong from Arsenal's point of view. And again, that second leg, regardless, if we've got a 2-goal lead or we're 2 goals down, Arteta the tactics, and I will have so much conversation to say about you. Players, you lot got to manage each other. You see, when you're talking to me about player meetings and things like that, that's when you're in these kind of scenarios and you lot are out there with your fellow brothers on the on the battlefield. That's where I'm looking at you lot, regardless. And full stop from now to the end of the season. It's on you lot now. I don't care. Yeah, I will nitpick. You lot know I've nitpicked and not been happy about stuff and giving people praise. But I can accept certain things. Fucking bring home the bacon. Simple as that. So yeah, I don't think he's wrong. Not looking beyond Bayern Leverkusen, but to play them second, the second game at home, I think is a strong advantage. Of course, you want to go to the final. Nobody's frightened of that, but you've got to take it one step at a time. You can dream and you can say that the draw looks kind, but when you see some of the teams in there, Bodo Glimt, who knocked out Inter Milan, former winners of the competition, you've got Barcelona. It's difficult wherever you look. So just concentrate on what you need to do. That's the next game against Leverkusen. We go from there. Wise words from a wise man. Simple as that. What have we got here? Oh, we've gone over that. Big up my guy, Art de Roche, for making sure that serious questions are asked. I did cover this yesterday, but apparently Arsenal's main focus is on trophies. They can win this season, but in the background, there's always talks, discussions, and things happening. One thing I can guarantee is that Arsenal will work on midfielders in the summer. One of the priorities in the summer transfer window, I think a bit under the radar in the media in this moment, could be also to add a young right back to the squad. Arsenal are considering the possibility to do something, not just in midfield, but at right back and also at winger. Arsenal are going to be active in the summer. The work behind the scenes is starting, which is kind of true. Sandro Tonali is likely to leave Newcastle this summer, according to Romano. Arsenal have been touted as a strong candidate. He's willing to explore a move. They did spend 59 million euros on him, so they're going to, you get me, want to make peace. I think there's a strong possibility to see Tonali moving in the summer transfer window. With Arsenal, for sure, there's appreciation. But in January, it was absolutely impossible, not even realistic, not even a negotiation, because Arsenal were never going to try something impossible. Newcastle were never letting him leave in January. That story was impossible. In the summer, it could be different. Let's see with Arsenal, but it's not only Arsenal. For example, the player is being watched by Man United. Let's see what's going to happen also with Italian clubs. Juventus dream of Sandro Tonali, but of course, it's a very expensive deal, complicated for Italian clubs. And let's see if Juventus will be in the Champions League next season or not. And also, let's see the price, because again, it's Newcastle dictating the timing and the price of this story. When you sit at the table with Newcastle, it's never easy. So I'd have him. It's going to cost an arm and a leg, man. So leave it at that. Arsenal are reportedly plotting a summer move for Anthony Gordon. Liverpool and Manchester United will join us in the race. 14 goals, 5 assists in 38 games, people. The Sun are now reporting that this could be it. The Gunners reportedly believe Gordon is ready to leave Newcastle, and they're hoping to finalize a deal for a transfer fee of 85 million euros, which equates to 75. A bit too costly for me, if I'm honest with you. Decent player, and I know English premium, all those kind of things. Odegaard apparently has no plans to leave this summer, despite calls for him to do so. Odegaard might be leaving Arsenal if you're him. No, that's ESPN. He's not going anywhere, man. Everyone's got a price. Pardon me, I will be shocked. And I'll do a forfeit on this channel if Odegaard is sold or decides to leave. Don't want Palmer to play. Arteta needs to be brave, no cowardness. What a goal from Ipswich. They scored a banger. I'll be tuning in a sec. I do have a feeling that Palmer could get the one good game in his shitty form against us. Yeah, well, Palmer can have a goal and they can say, oh, what a good game from Palmer. As long as we get the 3 points, yeah, put that in the bag. So, yeah, man. Big up, Derek. We're up for it. We live in hope, brother. We live in hope, but then you got to go out there and show tangible reasons as to why you can get it, man. Did you speak about the lineups or is it for tomorrow? My lineup off the bat, I am tempted to change things, but Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Timber, they pick themselves. Rice, Zubamendi, Eze. I don't know if it'll be tempted for Odegaard. Saka on the right. I do want to see Eze and Saka's link up again. I would like to see Saka drift into those areas. I think there's something there. Gyökeres through the middle. me personally, Trossard, innit? I think it picks itself. Benji, one love, and everyone else in the chat. So, yeah, man, I think that's the case. I swear, every time I see Gordon play, I see him miss chances. Good player, but could see him frustrating us. So Eze over Havertz if he's fit. If Havertz is fit, you're fit to be in the squad, boy. You've not. I wouldn't start him. I think it'd be irresponsible. I know Kai will be pushing to start, but I think it'd be irresponsible. Like, because I want you to be fit and stay fit for what's left of the season, innit? Andy, one love. I'm good, man. I hope you in the chat is, man. I think the semi-final matchup will be Liverpool, Bayern, Barca, Arsenal. Fair play. By the way, am I crazy? I think we have a better chance to get the W against Chelsea if we go behind early. I see why, and I think Arsenal have done that number on us, but I don't want that to be the case, man. I don't want that. And it's a shame for Kai, because one thing I did want to explore is the Gyökeres and Kai partnership. I do think it's just two different things. That's why for what's left of this season, like, I'm not going to say Saka shouldn't play in the 10, but I'm heavy. I kind of more wanted to play in the 10 than on the right-hand side, just because of the climate we're at and what we're playing this season, and it throws spanners into the works and all those. I just want to see a bit more movement and be a bit more unpredictable, man. But yeah, with that being said, just short of an hour, there's no point wasting you lot's Fridays listening to this shit, man. So yeah, appreciate you lot for being part of the second stream. Tomorrow we're definitely going to do a watch along for Leeds, Manchester City. Definitely watch along on Sunday for Arsenal, Chelsea. Appreciate you silent listeners, you lot who have hit the like button, my members, my moderators, my long-term supporters. So yeah, man, you lot enjoy your Friday. Check out the rest of the content, and we'll see you lot soon, man. One love. Always